The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, Kern County. It is 5 a.m. on this finally Friday. I'm Alex Fisher. We begin this morning with your 17 Court Watch. And a claim has been filed against the County of Kern, saying the negligence of deputies led to a child's death from a fentanyl overdose. Last month, deputies were called out to a home on Santito Drive for a report of a child not breathing. 2-year-old Ezekiel Rivera was pronounced dead. Now the family is claiming 2 days before his death, his mother got into a heated argument with Ezekiel's father during a custody exchange. The claim says the mother told responding deputies she had seen the father with a bag containing a white substance, and other relatives reported seeing him with fentanyl. It also goes on to say that despite their concerns, deputies did not remove the 2-year-old boy from the father's care, nor did they search his home. No criminal charges have been filed in connection with Ezekiel's death. Meantime, the remains of a woman who was shot and killed after tracking her stolen vehicle with an Apple AirTag were handed over by the coroner's office to a woman who claimed to be the victim's sister, but was not. The remains were then cremated without the family's permission. This, according to a claim brought against the county. It seeks $500,000 on behalf of the woman's parents, accusing the coroner's office of failing to properly investigate before releasing her body. The woman, who claimed the remains, allegedly told the coroner's office that the woman's parents were dead. That came as news to Hampton's parents, who say they learned of their daughter's death through a newspaper article. Bakersfield made the pages of a luxury magazine in one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Los Angeles. It wasn't for the best reasons, though. 17's Cecilia Trevino has more.
Among mansions and luxury living comes a cry for help in what is being called a growing statewide crisis, dog dumping in Bakersfield, one out-of-town nonprofit organization dedicated to help.
Within a year, we have helped rescue 236 dogs that have been dumped out in Bakersfield, and there's tons more. We haven't even made a dent. It's just really bad. Today, someone just dumped another 6 dogs out there.
Intake numbers continue to increase in local shelters. The Bakersfield Animal Care Center reports euthanasia has increased 41%, bringing a total of 401 dogs put to sleep so far this year. The Kern County Animal Shelter says numbers are not slowing down for them either.
It'll probably be about 2,500 animals at the end of the year, I projected, so that's more like 225 animals a month.
In hopes to make a long-lasting change for generations to come, the Start Rescue is teaming up with Simi Valley Clinic to open a low-cost spay and neuter clinic in Bakersfield. In the meantime, they continue to transport dogs and cats from kill shelters in California to be rehomed by groups in the Pacific Northwest. Cecilia Trevino, 17 News.
17 News is your local election headquarters, and wrapping up the week, a busy Friday on the campaign trail for GOP 2024 presidential candidates, trying to chip away at former President Trump's significant lead as he deals with multiple investigations. President Biden is pulling ahead of his predecessor in a head-to-head general election matchup and making the case that Bidenomics is working to reshape the economy. NBC's Chris Pallone has more from Washington.
Over the last 30 years in this country.
A little more than a month until the first Republican debate and a full court press from GOP candidates. The newest Quinnipiac poll shows it's still former President Donald Trump's nomination to lose. His competitors say a lot can change between now and the Republican National Convention next summer.
When you look at the numbers in the polls, I'm very comfortable with where we are.
Former Vice President Mike Pence among those who still haven't qualified for next month's debate in Wisconsin.
We've been setting record contributions online for the last several days. I'm confident that we'll get there.
I think I'm more likely to beat Biden. I think my record in Florida shows that.
Meanwhile, NBC News has learned Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is planning a campaign reboot, days after firing about a dozen staffers to cut costs. Aides say DeSantis will hold smaller events and focus less on his record in Florida. Thursday, hoping to break through on the economy with voters, President Biden argued in Philadelphia his policies dubbed Bidenomics are working.
Unemployment's down, but to the surprise of a lot of economists, so is inflation.
But the prospect of a Biden-Trump rematch has some voters and lawmakers considering the idea of a third-party candidate. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin attended an event with the group called No Labels this week.
If it's a matchup between Biden and Trump, I know exactly where I'd go. I would go with Joe Manchin.
With legal troubles mounting for former President Trump, opponents see opportunity on the horizon. That Quinnipiac poll shows that in a head-to-head rematch, President Biden holds a 5-point lead over former President Trump. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Now to an update about a 2-year-old found on the side of the road wearing only a diaper. Initial reports indicated a driver found the toddler on Monday just off Highway 65. But now we're hearing a decidedly different story. 17 News has obtained audio from the radio calls of that incident. Let's take a listen.
There's an RP stopped with a pedestrian southbound 65 south of James. The pedestrian is described as a white male juvenile, approximately 2 years of age, wearing negative clothing. S1 copies requesting Control 1 and CPS. 1020 of northbound 65 on the 65 off-ramp.
On a juvenile, approximately 2 to 3 years of age, not closed.
After speaking with the Kern County Sheriff's Office, we found out that the toddler was actually located here on Leucadia Avenue, west of Highway 65. The toddler was indeed found wearing nothing but a diaper, but rather than being just off the freeway, he was found just outside of the fence line of the property of his family's home. KCSO says the toddler was unharmed and did not require any medical attention and was later returned to his parents. A homicide investigation is underway this morning after a child died in Walker Basin. We first brought you this story as breaking news on 17 News at Sunrise yesterday. We are now learning the child was 4 years old. Deputies say they found him dead inside a car on Caliente Bodfish Road. All deputies are saying right now is that he suffered a traumatic injury near a marijuana grow house. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.